Welcome back, GlamFam. It's your girl, Angela Denise, and I am here with you today with some newness. I want to give a big shout out to one of my OG subscribers, Dr. Goldie, MD. Thank you so much for your support, and it's certainly appreciated. So today we have newness. This is going to be my first review of 2022, and I think that this year is going to be a complexion year. Unlike last year, I think this is going to be more foundations and concealers. Last year was more color cosmetics, blushes, bronzers, contour products, and all of that. This is going to be a complexion year. And you know, I'm excited about that because I love good complexion products. So Nars always comes with the heat. They generally come, it seems like the last couple of years, once a year with a foundation collection release. This year they released the light reflecting foundation collection. It has 30 shades, and they also revamped their light reflecting powders. So they do have pressed powders and loose powders, and you guys know I love a good loose powder, so I went for the loose powder. They originally had two shades, the crystal shade and the sunstone shade. Now they have 4 shades. It's kind of divvied up to complement the different shade ranges in their collection, fair, light, medium, deep, deep. So there's 4 different powders to complement those, and I think that's an awesome idea. I had never tried the original light reflecting powder. I do know that you're getting the packaging is different than the original, and of course the shade range is more expensive. I don't know if the formulation changed at all, but that's just a little bit of history on this powder. I never really noticed Nars. I really don't look to Nars for powders. I look to them for foundations and things like that. This foundation just released on Thursday online, and I went in store and picked up my shade. I picked up the shade Caracas, but I'm honestly not sure if this is the best shade for me. So what I did for you guys is I have a bunch of samples, and I'm going to do swatches on my face, and I'm going to do swatches on my arm. That's going to help you pick out the shade that's perfect for you and help me pick out the shade perfect for me. Let's go ahead and dive into the swatches. Okay, we are fresh faced. Let's go ahead and pull the hair back with a silk scrunchie. We're going to go ahead and go in the order of lightest to darkest, starting with the first shade, Moria, and that's going to be 2.3. This is 2.6. Moria is this shade. I'm sorry, you guys. This is Moria. And then this is Caracas. This is the one that I actually purchased, but I'm not sure. This undertone on Caracas is, I don't know. This is 3.6 Bellum. The last shade that I have is Macau. Those last 2 shades are going to be kind of scrunched together. I want to go ahead and swatch Bellum and Macau over here. I'm going to let these dry down on the face for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be back and we'll look at the shades, because I want you guys to not only see the wet version, but I want you to see it as it's lived on the skin a little bit, and I want you all to comment and let me know which foundation shade you think suits my skin tone the best. This is actually one of the areas I struggle with Nars. So again, Moria 2.3, 2.6, shade 3, which is Cadiz, shade 3.3, which is Caracas. This is Bellum. This is Macau. I've already prepped my face before I did the swatches with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and my MAC Skin Refine Zone. That's standard procedure. Skin Refine Zone goes in the problem areas. I'm going to be using my favorite foundation brush from Ulta Beauty, and this is the buffing foundation brush. It's a number 13. This has been a favorite as of late. We are also going to be getting into the new powder from the collection. And I am feeling kind of bummed about it because I did purchase Caracas, but like as I'm looking at it under the light, it's just not the best fit for me. And again, this has always been my struggle with Nars. So I'm just mixing up the sample of Macau and the shade 2.6 to get what I believe is my ideal shade, which is this. And this is a lot, but I do this kind of thing to show you guys the texture, the radiance, all of these things about the foundation. So let's go ahead and blend this in. This is a medium coverage foundation, natural finish. Oh, the time. So it is officially 11:01. So we're going to do a mini wear test. So I'm going to wear this as long as possible. I do have a facial appointment this afternoon. So I'll only be able to test this for you for a couple of hours to kind of see how it holds up on my skin. So this is the skin. I think that it looks good. I believe that this is a true medium coverage. Can I build it up even more? I do believe I can build it up more than what I have right now. But I do think this is good. This is a good medium coverage. I do love the finish. It's radiant, but not overly radiant. And it just makes my skin look very vibrant, very refreshed, very healthy. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my Nars concealer. I'm going to be using Caramel and Secret Yours under the eyes today. And Caramel is going to go on the outer portion of the eye because I kind of have a certain look that I want to go for today. This is like my standard Nars concealer color, Caramel. And Secret Yours is kind of like a highlight shade for me. That's the look that I'm going for today. But if you don't want the really bright shade, I would just say stick with the shade Caramel if you are my skin twin. But if you like a lot highlighted look, then go with Secret Yours. So let's go ahead and apply some of the loose powder. I really like that they redid the shade range to complement multiple different skin tones. They used to have the crystal shade and a shade called Sunstone, which would have been appropriate for my skin tone. But these 4 shades that they have now complements each spectrum of the NARS shade range family. So I love that it has this mesh on it. This is kind of like the Pat McGrath powder. And so I'm just going to press my brush down in it like so. And then I'm going to press it into the skin like this. This powder is actually supposed to have a radiant finish. It's formulated with microfine mineral powders, and it has a light reflecting complex, photochromatic technology, no flashback. And it does provide some light coverage. So that's why the powders are tinted for different skin tones because you do get a little coverage from this. So we're going to go ahead and finish up the face, and I'll be back with some of my final thoughts or initial thoughts about this foundation and powder. Even though the light reflecting powder already existed, they redid the shade range, which is great. I never tried it before. I think I did try the crystal shade a long time ago when those crystal white powders used to be a thing years ago. We're going to go ahead, finish up the face, and I'll be back. I love the fact that this foundation comes with a pump. It is $49, I believe. You're getting a standard fluid ounce. This one, I don't know if Nars changed their pricing, but Nars foundations, I know the Sheer Glow foundation is like $39 or something like that, but then you have to buy a $10 pump. So it all evens out. The foundation bottle in standard Nars fashion is minimalistic and sleek. I love that it comes with a pump. I love the consistency of the formulation. It is runny, but not too runny. It's not thick. I do tend to love foundations that are malleable like this, that have a little bit of run, that's kind of liquidy like this one, because I find that it really applies well to my face, and it, you know, I'm able to get a more perfected look on the face with foundations like this. So that is what that pump looks like blended on the back of my hand. You can definitely see that Caracas is a little bit red, and that's the issue that I have with the shade on my skin tone, especially in the wintertime where I have no tan, and that red undertone is really conflicting with my skin tone. So what I will say about this foundation is that the wear is gorgeous. It looks beautiful on the skin. It applies well. You see how it applied on the back of my hand. I do feel like once it dries down, it is a very much so natural finish. The issue that I have for my particular skin tone is the color. So if you're a little bit lighter, a little bit darker with a different undertone, you're good. When you try out a foundation, let it live on the skin, because actually as it dries a little bit, you'll see the color darkening. So you're probably thinking that when I first applied this foundation on the back of my hand, the color wasn't too bad. But as it sits and dries down, you can see that the color starts to develop and pull more and more red. And so that's why I don't think that that's the best color for me, especially not in January. Maybe in July, but in January, it's definitely not the best color for me. I do think that this is a foundation formulation that most skin tones will be able to enjoy, from dry to oily. Of course, those with oily skin should always offset the foundation application with a powder that maybe is more mattifying, and also prep the skin with products that are mattifying. Those with normal skin, you know, you have normal skin, so you can pretty much wear any foundation. And then those with dry skin, will also be able to wear this foundation. I feel like it's not dry, it's not super hydrating either. It's just a natural finish that looks really good on the complexion. So I do feel like this is something that all skin types will enjoy. I want to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I say go try it. It's a great formulation if you have a good shade for you. So far, everything's looking good on the face. I'll check back in with you guys. I'll insert a clip letting you guys know how the foundation looks in a couple of hours. I will see you all in the next one. Bye. Okay, GlamFam, I am outside my appointment for my facial, but I wanted to just come and do one quick checkup. It's right at 3 o'clock, so I'm about to wipe my face off and go into my appointment. But I just wanted to give you an additional update. I think that the foundation is looking good and it's wearing very well.